reflect the views or opinions of the PAC TV staff or the PAC TV Board of Directors. The content contained herein is the sole responsibility of the community producer.
We are here with Mass After Dark. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, how's Japan treating you?
Pretty darn good. It's amazing. It seems just like home.
And look, the Pizza Man's here.
Pizza Man's here
too. Do you have pizza to eat along with me?
I don't know if I do.
Oh, well, we'll see.
You know, the Pizza Man looks remarkably like the co-host of Token Retsuden.
Yes, he does. Is one for me and one for you? There's a pizza cam out on the table, too.
I guess I better push over. We just started. We just took flight on the show.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm the co-host. Jason can't be here tonight because he's in a state of confusion right now. But if any of you ladies are interested in...
Is that what they call Connecticut now?
The website. Yeah, it's Rhode Island.
You're right, it is Rhode Island. Pizza cam and promo cam.
I even have a graphic. All right. Thanks. So what's this show about tonight?
Hey, well, you know what? As we have a special guest here in Japan, in Roppongi, I would guess that since Dan is here...
Dan's sitting on me.
What do you want to talk about?
Stuff.
Yeah!
What the hell is it? What in the hell?
Do you feel like a Lilliputian? A Lilliputian? I feel like a Lilliputian.
Me
you
too.
You know what the other name they have for Lilliputian is?
Midget?
Carl Pratt.
Who's that?
Video sports midget.
Do I know him?
You've probably met him at the awards banquet where we swept the awards.
He's a good guy. I work with him often.
I know you do. He's actually a very good guy. You're right.
So why are you ripping on him then?
Because he regularly rips on everyone else.
Does he?
He does.
Two wrongs make a right then?
He referred to me as
We
a
have
sweat hog.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Once or many times?
It hardly matters coming from him.
So the answer to the question is what then?
The question is, this is Mass After Dark. The one thing we try and get rid of on Mass After Dark is any sort of decorum, adult behavior, or anything that could be misconstrued as quality programming.
Is it then your assertion that I should continue in that vein, or do I just do my own thing?
You can do your own thing.
That's sweet then.
Yes, your own thing is very interesting.
I brought the pizza.
I made
That
the
is-
coffee.
That is the king of obscure. That definitely gets you a token. You're gonna get pizza. Shut the hell up!
Hey, it's a long trip from Japan, and Dan's going to get it there to you fresh. That's the amazing
There's the
thing
pizza
about it.
cam there. Pop. We don't endorse anything, but
If it looks like it says something, you're mistaken. What it actually says is Japanese writing, so it's not technically what it appears to say.
Japanese is a symbolic language, more so than ours. It's fresh. Jesus Christ.
We don't have any plates. There's no plates in baseball.
God.
Actually, there are.
damn you, bitch.
Wait a
like,
second.
damn you, complain. Bitch being a verb.
Okay, I see. That's not the way it necessarily came
Exactly.
out.
I was
And
thinking.
you're on camera right now. Well, you're not on camera, but
Am
you
I on
are
camera?
mic'd.
I am mic'd. I'm mic'd by Mike, and we're got a green background working for us.
Yeah, it's great.
We've got pizza, and that's the important thing.
It always is.
Mass After Dark. This is kind of some freeform thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
some freeform thing.
That's good.
Anyway, Dan, we had a discussion about the death penalty just the other day.
Did we?
And repeatedly, I think we've had discussions concerning the tragedy that has befallen this community.
Another tragedy. Oh,
Yeah.
no, this community's tragedy, yeah.
Are you talking about that? Oh wait, my mic's on the floor. Are you talking about that traffic light at the corner of Cherry Street and Standish Ave? Somebody took that thing out.
They took it out?
Yeah, I wanted to put it in. If I had a pickup truck, I'd probably steal it. Not that I encourage that, but it was damaged.
Oh. So whoever steals it should have the death penalty?
No, they probably just need to talk things over with their insurance agent.
Oh. Okay. Well, okay. That topic's covered. What else we talking about?
I don't know.
You were talking about gun control.
What I wanted to know is, what do you guys think about the likelihood of them naming a bridge after Ted Kennedy? Just popped into my head one day. I thought it'd be a very interesting thing.
How about a tunnel after Bill Clinton?
That's actually pretty good, Mike.
That is good.
I wrote that one myself.
I think we're much more likely to have a drink named after Ted Kennedy than a bridge.
I'm sure there probably already is one.
I would think.
Funny thing you should mention Ted Kennedy, because he's one of the guys that is really pushing this Patient's Bill of Rights, giving you the right to sue an HMO and your employer if they don't give you the kind of service that you want. The guy who originally pushed to have HMOs come into existence, hi Mima, to have HMOs come into existence is Ted Kennedy, to get at all the big insurance companies. That was the scam back then, to generate a lot of revenue, take away the money from those big bad insurance companies. Well, 30 years later, this was 1973 he formed that bill. I'm curious to see what side he's on now. Actually, I already know. He wants to get back at the big bad HMO organizations, which are the same organizations
wait a
he put in
second.
power.
But, to quote, to go back to what we discussed off camera 2 weeks ago or something,
Yep.
doesn't that almost follow a Jeffersonian theory? In the sense
what are you
that
talking about?
this HMO, in a sense, is a governmental agency, and as a microcosm of the government, has grown beyond its usefulness as well, and now you need to find a way of controlling it. It may well have in its infancy been a good thing, certainly in its
If I thought
applicability.
his means, the end to his means is to make it all free enterprise and every man for himself, I'd say, yep, let's do it. But we all know what Kennedy wants. He wants to make HMOs, first off, he was part of the guy who wrote the law that prevented HMOs from being able to be sued. He provided that special exception for them so they could, quote, compete with the insurance organizations in 1973. Now he wants us to be able to sue the HMOs. Why? I'll tell you why he wants to. Because
Is it why he wants to, or why you believe he wants to?
I will go to my grave and I'll know what I say is the truth. Why he wants to is because he wants the HMOs to go out of business. Why does he want the HMOs to go out of business? Well, what he can do is he can say, the HMOs are going out of business. How are we going to have health care for everybody? I know what we can do. The government can save us. Now we can have government health care, and that's what Kennedy wants. He wants to take more of my tax dollars to provide a universal health care system, and there still is no country that has proven that it is a useful or even a successful program. We could probably make it a successful program if we wanted to, because it will be with my tax dollars. Mine. Not yours. Mine, probably.
Well, probably some of theirs as well.
Some.
I got pizza.
Some of mine as well.
Yep, some of yours as well. And the problem is we're paying, whatever happened to, there was a time when there was no health care. There was no HMO. There were no HMOs. You either got a job that had health care or you went out and you bought your own policy. What's wrong with that? What gives anybody in this country a right to health care?
Have you tried to go buy a policy?
It's very expensive.
Ridiculously expensive.
And why is that?
Because of the insurance company and the HMOs.
Because
they've grown to a certain point. It goes to with unions as well. Unionization in the 20s or whatever.
I have no problem with getting rid of all this if I didn't think that Kennedy would be stepping up saying the government can control all this and you won't even have any problem. Just give me more taxes. And that's what he would do. If he would just leave it alone and say, you know what, you guys fend for yourselves. The smaller companies would go, I'm not going to get sued because of your medical decision. I'm just not going to offer health coverage. Here, handle it yourself. And everyone will go buy their own separate health care systems. But that's not what he wants, and that's why I wouldn't support it. And honestly, you can still sue the doctor. If you get bad treatment, you can always sue the doctor. You've never not been able to sue the doctor. But
having said that, I mean, you already have X amount of tax dollars taken away, okay? What better use would there be than for it to go to being a healthcare situation?
What better use?
Can I take the bottom one?
The best use of tax dollars would be to give them back to me. Give them back to the people who earn the money in the first place. We shouldn't have to give the government all our money and then have the government stand over us like a parent and say, here, you're allowed to have 60% of your money back. It's not supposed to be that way. I want roads, I want police, I want a fire department. After that, let natural selection sort it out.
Yeah, the problem is it's not natural selection, it's Alan Greenspan.
And if you don't like Alan Greenspan, what do you do? If you don't like the way things are, you try and change it.
My point is that it's not natural selection when it's all about money.
It's not all about money. It's only all about money to those who follow it. Those who believe that they deserve 2 cars in their garage. You go down to Mexico and go outside of Mexico City, heck, even in Mexico City, and you see 8-member families that thrive living in a shack, living on nothing.
Well, it's a question of standard of living, too. Do we want the majority of the country living in a lower standard of living?
I don't care. Do whatever you're going to do. No one's holding me. I have yet to find someone who actually has somebody's foot on their neck, preventing them from going to get a job that pays more money or going to get training to get a job that would pay more money. Nobody is holding anybody back physically. Go out there and try. So we shouldn't, granted, our standard of living, our level of poverty is like royalty for some of these underdeveloped nations. But
with toys.
Well, even standard of living.
Do you want the overall way, should the way people live change that much? Is that a safe thing, for one thing?
It's immaterial.
No, it isn't.
It's not I should not be forced to pay to let somebody have PlayStation. I should not have my tax.
To Monte Carlo.
I should not have my tax dollars going out. It's not, again, it's not the point. I shouldn't have to pay to support people to have a higher standard of living when they don't need it. Let God sort them out.
No, but see, a higher standard of living, I'm not sure that applies to health care.
There's no law in the books that says we have to have a human being born in this country is guaranteed and has the right to health care. There's no such law.
Maybe that's a problem.
Maybe. Or maybe you get a job that has health care. Why does it have?
It's very easy for someone who has that job to say.
But I didn't always have it.
No, you had a job in the military where they took care of your health care.
And when I wasn't in the military and I didn't have a job, you know whose health care I had? No one's. I had to get a job. Nobody forced me to get a job. I had to go out and do it on my own. There's nothing stopping anybody from getting a job.
See, that's just not entirely true.
Not entirely true.
It's also a question of, yeah, you can get a job, but does the job provide enough money to begin with to survive on? Secondly, does it provide enough money to even consider if they don't provide health care to get health care? And is it a benefit right now? No, but should it be? That's really the issue.
But you can't force a business to provide health care for all its employees.
No,
I think there should be no law in the books.
In some way it would make more sense for the government to do so.
You know,
there is one problem with that, and that's the fact that in most situations the quality of health care from the nations where they have actually got nationalized health care is
Is pretty
somewhere
low.
along woeful.
Even in Canada,
Canada's pretty
when you
awful.
get to a certain age, when you need a hip replacement or something, they assess whether this will extend your life or not. And I don't know what the age is, but they have a deciding board. And if they say that this will not extend your life, they won't do it. It's not even about quality of life. It's if it will not extend your life, they will not do it. That's how their healthcare system is. So you could be racked with pain, needing a hip surgery, and you're not going to get it. They're going to say, suffer. You got it for free. You get what you pay for. That's why I don't want nationalized healthcare. I don't want the government to control healthcare. Talk about a freedom. We say women have the right to choose, women have control over their own bodies.
Oh boy, is there a danger there.
Nobody has control over their own bodies as soon as you put our government in control of the health plan, because they're going to decide who lives and who dies. Oh, what if they got very religious in the government, more so than they are now, and they said, for instance,
Is that possible?
AIDS is a moral disease and we refuse to fight it. We're going to stop all funding. Every AIDS victim won't be able to get their pills, or they'll have to pay through the nose for them, because the government won't pay
And
for
the
it for free.
payment for those is insane.
It's very
by the
high.
way.
Exactly. So look what could happen.
But that could happen anyway,
How?
regardless of. All you need to do is have the insurance agencies or the HMOs not cover them,
Well, then you could,
which is already a problem, by the way.
I don't know, I just don't want the government in control of any aspect of my life if I can avoid it. And health care is just one thing. And it's also, I have the benefit of knowing that I'm going to pay a hell of a lot more into it than I'm going to get out of it. And I'm just going to be supporting
At least
more and
for a
more
while.
people who are going to be on Prozac. They have guys, poverty-stricken men who are receiving Viagra pills that you paid for. That is absolutely true. And who is this, the new senator, Hillary Clinton, is bitching that how come women can't have the same thing? Women should have the same thing. We should spend more money, if you're going to give poor guys Viagra, we should spend more money on birth control for poor girls, which I'm not entirely unopposed.
I don't think that's necessarily
Opposed
the
to.
problem is.
Well, that's what she
that
said.
What we've found is that birth control.
They
the
don't use
biggest
it.
Birth control is education and morality, and if you don't have either of those, you're not going to control the population, particularly the teen pregnancies in that situation. Once you get to be an adult and you do it, it's my feeling that you reap what you sow.
I concur.
In fact, even to a certain degree, I believe that with teens, but I do think that there is an epidemic aspect to that.
Well, I think a lot of them also, well, not a lot, I don't know. There are young girls who will use the welfare system that will get themselves pregnant so that they can get a guaranteed apartment and get the welfare check and move out of the house because their mom's on crack, or the mom's got her 12th boyfriend who beats the daughter, and the daughter says, I'm out of here, I'm just going to get knocked up and I'll be able to move into a different apartment and I'll be out of that scene.
Hey, I gave
Well-
Dan some hair.
Oh,
He's
really?
got a big puffy afro.
That's cool. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I gotta maybe lower my head. Ooh. And I'm glad to pay for it. Or not. Again, I can certainly appreciate why she'd want to be out of that situation. And on a one-on-one basis or on a case-by-case basis, I could see why that would be something that'd be worth spending money on. But we waste so much money on this stuff. It's just ridiculous.
Well, don't you think the biggest waste of money is on the defense program, the way it's being used?
Compared to welfare? Hell no. At least welfare is trying to save people who deserve it,
Hey, look at
rather than leeches who mooch off the system and are never going to contribute to society, or most likely never.
You
I
mean
shouldn't
military?
say never.
You said
No.
at least welfare.
Welfare rats.
You said at least welfare tries to save.
No.
Oh, that's what you said.
The defense system, I spoke on the
Okay.
first point. The defense system actually saves the lives of every American, even those who don't deserve it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. See, here's my problem. I think I have no problem with the defense. If the defense budget was going to help to increase the wages of the soldiers, the benefits there, I'd have a lot less problem than for some of these toys and some of the obvious money laundering.
And so
that goes
many
on.
billions are in the black ops, or the, I think it's basically black ops, where they don't have to justify the expense. They say, all this billion,
National
we don't,
security type
yeah,
stuff.
we don't have to tell you. We don't have to tell you what we're spending on. Do I agree with that? No. Unfortunately, though, we have wars to fight, and if we don't have one to fight, we'll make one.
Regularly.
And Republicans and Democrats who get in power do the same thing with that.
Dem-Republicans.
Yep. Any politician will use the military to their own advantage. But at least you get good shots on CNN of like stuff flying around.
That's true, and even grainy pictures of like late-night bombings. Tremendous stuff. Mike, you getting bored by a topic which is actually a conversation?
No.
It's a sad, uninformed
I would've interrupted
conversation
it
between
long
both
ago.
of us, but
Look
it's
at this.
always
Look at what
spirited.
we got playing here. Oh, that's freaky.
It's freaky reeky. Yeah, my only feeling is, see, here's where I fall. Here's where I become very liberal. The only real way I become liberal is if it's going to help people directly. I see it as not being necessarily automatically a bad thing. Is there going to be corruption involved? Always. There's always going to be someone, no matter what we do,
I concur.
that finds some means of corruption. I do think that when you start taking away things that keep people from being in tremendous need and having the lower the poverty line gets, the more separation between the haves and the have-nots, the more chance there is, or the more likelihood there is that the have-nots are going to try and get more from the haves. And that creates a situation that you end up with in inner cities, basically.
You have an increased chance of that, but I was not handed a car on my 16th birthday with a big bow around it. I was not handed a free trip to college from my parents who were vacationing in Aruba. I didn't get all that, but you know what else I didn't do? Realizing I didn't have a car of my own, I did not go out and steal someone else's car. I also
Goes back
didn't...
to the phrase before, the whole morality and the self-responsibility and that kind of thing, which is the biggest thing I believe in is people should be responsible for their own actions, which is why, and this will probably irritate people, I wholeheartedly believe that if you want to end the amount of drug crimes in the nation, you make drugs legal.
Or
You can then tax them. You then can make people responsible for their actions when they are on them and make those laws incredibly stiff. And then you take away a major means of violence and corruption, which is one of the reasons, by the way, it won't happen, is because it's... do you want to know the biggest reason in my mind why drugs are illegal? Because they're making too money with them being illegal.
Our government's making enough money.
That's exactly what I mean.
Our government funds this whole drug. The war on drugs was just another boondoggle, a way to take more dollars, to divert more tax dollars from other programs to that. We bring in the drugs on our own. I like Alyssa Milano.
Me too.
Oh, I've got more.
She's a heck of an actress, you know.
Not really,
she's
but
an
she's
actress?
pretty.
That's what I've heard. I've heard she's an actress. I don't really believe it.
That's Jason's former prom date.
You want to tell me who's out there in the studio?
It looks like
Plymouth?
Dave Barr and somebody else.
David Barr.
David Barr and his girlfriend, I believe. Do you know that or it's his sister? Or I mean his daughter.
Get out there.
I can't. Oh, it's a guy. You know what? Guys, I would point out
He can't
that
see
I
with the
can't
glasses.
see a darn thing.
It's actually funny, but he can't see.
Not only that, but I would also point out that I am currently in Japan, so it's a long distance to see as well.
That
That's
was
Jennifer
pretty
Love
good.
Hewitt.
I can tell.
You can come in this way. Come in this way.
That's what we were talking about.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Here's another Alyssa moment.
That's a good one.
Was the other one Christina Aguilera?
Yeah.
Do I care?
I have better pictures because I have the Embraced with a Vampire DVD.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Are we having another walk-on Mass After Dark?
She's naked for about half that film.
I don't know.
Want to take over? I'll go walk around or something. Harass Mike.
Wow, people are flying to France faster.
Pizza.
France.
Enjoy.
Flying to Japan faster and faster tonight.
The only show that supplies food.
That's it.
Ugh. Makeup.
So how you doing, Dave?
Not bad.
You just flew in from the States and your arms are killing you?
Yes. You bet. So, what are we talking about?
I think
let's
we
talk
ended
about
on that
something.
topic.
What
Hey,
topic?
how much time has gone, Mike?
We're 23 minutes into the show.
Okay, well, wow, we're flying through.
Oh shit.
We're almost done.
Pick a topic. Pick a topic.
Pick a toxic.
Pick a toxic. Wow. Never seen The Toxic Avenger?
No.
Well,
No, let's talk about some politics or something.
Okay, what do you
Current
want to talk
event. I don't know. Let's pick something quick. Pick something.
you pick something. I'm a Libra.
I'm a Libra too. We have
Oh,
two
boy.
Libras here.
Dan, give us a topic.
I'm a Virgo
Well, this
Libra.
Condit thing. Somebody brought up a good point about Condit. Theory on why Chandra Levy is missing and it's so hard to find.
Why?
This guy
She was
Condit-
abducted by aliens.
No, but close.
Has anybody else? Okay, wait a minute. Get on me for a second. Has anybody else out there seen strange lights in the sky lately? And no, I don't think they're aliens, but actually, I think they're military of some kind. But
I saw a really strange one today, like in the middle of the day.
Oh boy.
yeah, someone did.
It moved across the sky real slow. It was really, really bright.
You're serious? All right, because someone saw the same thing the other day, and I saw it at 2:15 Wednesday, well, actually Thursday morning, if you want to get technical, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. I saw 3 lights up in the sky in a triangular formation.
Really?
Yes, and they moved across the sky. It took about 7 minutes.
Did you?
They spanned the sky.
The next morning, did you see David Duchovny?
No, I didn't. And I like I'm saying, I really don't think that they were alien craft. I don't.
Can you answer that?
I wonder if it's like a. Oh, I don't know what size plane it could be, but I wonder if they're doing flyovers.
Oh, it wasn't one plane. It was 3.
Okay.
Because, all right, they started off in a triangular formation, and then the head one sort of moved ahead, and then the one on the right moved to catch up, and then the other one moved to catch up, and then they did this sort of swirly formation down to the horizon, and I couldn't see them anymore.
Maybe it's these blue thunder people or blue whatever.
I was thinking that, but
Thunder Angel.
Blue Angels?
do they fly at 2 o'clock in the
I
morning?
don't know. Maybe that's why they crash so often. They're practicing in the dark.
My head was just up that guy's ass. Is that? How come? What's
So
up?
anyway,
It's Mike. What you do is you disregard what Mike's doing. Otherwise, you'll never talk about
Yes,
anything.
I'm in charge of the video portion of this program.
do not
Okay.
attempt to adjust your set.
I have like, John, are you catching this? I have like some guy being mauled on my chest. I did.
That'd be a cool T-shirt. So anyway,
Hey,
there's
that would be a cool T-shirt, wouldn't it?
that this guy Condit runs with the Hell's Angels. Well, gee whiz, what better way to get rid of a body than to get your Hell's Angels buddies to say, listen, can we
Oh, I didn't know that.
can we get her out of town? Oh,
What the hell?
yeah, big
I'm gonna
time
have pizza.
motorcycle rider.
I can't believe I'm gonna eat on TV.
Angel.
That's the most
Remember.
absurd thing I've heard yet.
Go ahead.
Why is it absurd?
I'm not necessarily disputing it. I'm
That's the
just
best
saying
way
it's
to train.
absurd.
Yeah, but it's the best one going out there right now, other than her wife getting in the fight with Chandra that's being reported, and his wife saying that she would commit suicide before she would let him leave. So knowing if she's willing to commit
Whoa,
suicide,
my shirt is like.
how far
Sorry.
is she from being able to like commit someone else's suicide for them? You know what I mean? So desperate measures call for desperate things.
Did anybody listen to Howard? And yeah, and the psychic.
What'd she say?
Back at it last second.
She said that Shonda was 30 feet under, under the water and 30 feet below the bottom of some body of water. I don't know where
Well,
they were.
you just bring a kid with a shovel and they just
How the
dig in.
hell's that happen?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
But it's hard. It's so impossible to disprove because no one's going to go through the work. that
Exactly.
She's going to be right up until they find her.
it was just a way for her to get free advertising on the Stern Show.
You ever seen Fargo?
I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
How you
My
gonna find-
girlfriend, how twisted is this? My girlfriend thought the coolest part in that whole movie was when the guy got shot and the blood spurting out of his head. She's laughing. And we're talking like, my girlfriend's like Marsha Brady. And so you never know.
We're out of time, guys.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I should have come in earlier.
Yeah, you should have come to rehearsal.
Rehearsal? You guys rehearsed?
No.